Oh my God, this first line of this article just goes, "Move over, Dune. There's a new bangable popcorn bucket in town." My goodness.
Dude, I was watching a guy like kind of break the popcorn bucket down. He goes, "Dude, the tongue is textured. Like if you zoom in on the tongue, it's textured. It's not like just like a plain like yeah, look at that thing. It's like textured. So it's not even just like it's not even like it's just a
Oh,
plain like slab. It's like they literally are like they know what they're doing. They know what
yeah.
they're doing. Oh,
Dude,
it's crazy.
that is just a wild thing. Deadpool, these headlines are also more wild.
And the fact that I'm gonna have to stick my hand and my fingers into this Wolverine head is just awesome, and I'm so there for it, and I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 31 of the Two Man Podcast. Carl, what is going on?
What's going on, Tyler? Happy to be here on this beautiful Friday morning. So everybody who's listening, we are literally going to have recorded this at 8:58. That's when we started this morning. So hopefully you guys are all listening and you are enjoying to hear Tyler and I's beautiful voice.
Yeah,
So
exactly. We're recording the same day as you guys. We have some coffee in us, hopefully, and we're going to bring you a great episode. Carl, you want to tell all the lovely listeners what we have planned today?
yeah, guys. We got a lot of good stuff for you guys today. Not a jam-packed episode, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot of conversations to start. So we have a two-man thought to start us off with me and Tyler's, New York extravaganza we had last weekend. Then we're gonna continue the New York theme again, as this podcast usually does, and talk about our New York sports, from the Knicks to the Rangers and to the beloved terrible Mets. And then finally, we're gonna cap off with our popcorn bucket that Deadpool designed. Our thoughts upon that,
Love it.
and then Tyler has a fun game for us all to play. So I cannot wait. He hasn't told me what it's about, and I love when we keep it a surprise amongst each other. So
Absolutely.
all right, baby, let's do it. So Tyler, let's start with you. Let's start us off with our two-man thought of the week.
Sure, yeah. So for Memorial Day, we had a business call the other day trying to figure out what we wanted to do. There was about five or six of us friends in there, and we decided to go to the city on Saturday at this place called Lawn Club NYC, which is basically in the financial district that anyone that's been is familiar with the area. And it was a really cool place, I thought, in my eyes. You basically can rent out an area, either outside or inside, for 2 hours. It's a pretty decent size plot of turf you can rent out. And you have multiple lawn games there, ladders, cornhole, big beer pong, a bunch of other games too. And you literally just tell the workers there if, they explain the rules to you of that game. And if you want to play a different game, you just tell them. And they give you a new game to play. And, you have a waitress or waiter giving you drinks and food. And you got a couple hours of fun. So, I mean, in my eyes, it was a home run.
Yeah, dude, I just think that New York City is just so slept on, at least out here from our friends' perspective.
Hmm.
I mean, I understand so many kids, like around our age, they go and live there because they want that experience that we just basically experienced, I guess. Like that's
Yeah.
why people go there is
Hmm.
because we did that one weekend out of the past like couple of months. That's there every day.
Yeah.
They get out of work at 5 p.m. They work their 9 to 5. They go to some random cool hole in the wall bar that's either the coolest bar they've ever been to, or something close to it. Because I thought that place was great, because I was
Yeah.
like, dude, why don't we have any like something like this on Long Island? Then the thought that came into my head was, well, we do live in the suburban area, so you don't need to have like turf to play these lawn games. But
True.
I think just the idea of it like gets you to go to the actual bar. So like even if it wasn't like inside, like obviously this place was inside, it was kind of pimped out, had all the
Hmm.
cool lights, um, the turf and stuff. Like even if we had that something like that here on Long Island, I feel like it wouldn't have the same effect as it does in New York City, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does, and it's kind of funny you brought that up because as every time I go to the city, I think, oh, I would love to work in the city. Probably not live there because there is a lot of other things not great with it. But I would
Yeah.
love to work there because, like, after that 9 to 5, instead of hopping home. Like really, the only social thing to do in the city is to grab a drink somewhere.
Yeah, literally.
So if you can find a place where you can play some games as well and, catch a drink or two, I think it's a great place to go to. So I think it's something I would do every day after work if I worked in the city, especially if I was close to that place. I mean, it's
Oh
great.
yeah.
That's what Dan said. I think that's how we discovered that place, kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is I'm pretty sure shout out to our Dan K and our boy Joe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they said that they found that place by going out after work. They were like, "Hey, like cuz it's in the financial district. What else is better spot than to have your know a lawn club like that in a place where mostly the guys that get out 9 to 5 are going to be." So,
These Brads and Chads just getting out after
exactly.
9 to 5. They want to, blow off some steam. Why not play some ladders or some
Yeah.
cornhole?
And like obviously the financial district is known for, the having the high rollers coming off up, in the area over there.
Sure.
And I gotta say, you definitely needed to be because a pitcher of a drink was $92. And
Yeah.
if you didn't get that, the average drink was $18.
Yeah. Yeah.
So still ridiculous, but
Yeah.
it was a great time.
Yeah, no, I figured New York drinks were gonna be quite a bit. So, if you don't have that kind of money, make sure you pregame early on the
Yeah,
train ride in.
either way, still have a good time and go because it was a hell lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. I mean, we didn't even get to all the games, and we were there for 2 hours because it
Yeah,
literally flew by. Not to be cliche, but time flies when you're having fun. And they had TVs
it
on. We were
does.
watching the Stars and the Oilers. We were watching the end of the Celtics Pacers. And there was just the six of us in this area that had plenty of room. And honestly, there was more games we could have played. The one game that I really loved, I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's with that wooden bottle on top of the stick,
Yes.
and you're throwing the frisbee back and forth. I mean, I was getting into it. Me and Dan were strategizing like, we were in charge of like a war or something, trying to see who could
You're literally
advance
at
their forces.
your
But
war strategizing.
yeah, literally. Taylor and Hallie did beat us though, but
That's
it was. I know
crazy.
they did beat us because there's a strategy. Who wants to catch the frisbee? Who wants to catch the beer bottle? If you guys know the game I'm talking about, this makes a lot of sense. If you don't, you probably think this is the stupidest game you've ever seen, but
Yeah,
it's a lot
so
of fun.
it's basically like a pole like this, and imagine my little Deadpool guy right here
Yeah,
is the bottle. You have to throw a frisbee at it, and one of the partners has to catch the frisbee, and the other person has to try and catch the bottle if you hit the pole.
yeah.
So, yeah, it is definitely some hand-eye coordination like to the max. Dude, Tyler, was watching you make some fantastic catches. Honestly, like Gold Glove performance, like get
Yeah.
this man into the Hall of Fame. It was actually ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember I was
So,
trying to pull out some catching slash goalie reflexes for sure. I was catching them backhand behind the pole and everything, but some of these bounces, because you played at 21, so I believe it's like 4 points if it hits the pole and the frisbee and bottle hit the ground, but you can take away a point if you catch one of them, but they still get two. So it's definitely a game of strategy as well. But I've been thinking about it ever since because, like you said, I had some good catches, and no one will ever be able to see it again,
dude,
unfortunately.
no,
So
I think I recorded one.
probably when I dropped it, if I had to
Yeah,
take a
it
guess.
honestly might have been.
Of
I did
course.
take a couple of recordings.
Yeah.
And it was some pretty good catches, but I think I did get you when you definitely dropped it. Also, I just looked it up. The game is called Polish,
Oh,
which seems very very on the nose.
yeah, it
Um,
does, but I think you definitely could have came up with a better name than that,
yeah,
than Polish.
and you think Dan would have been better because he is Polish. Ha,
You think so? He
pun
was pretty
intended.
good, but not good
Pun intended.
enough. Not good enough.
Oh no. But honestly, dude, that place was great. I would 100% go back. And if any of our followers want to go, let us
Yeah.
know. Me and Tyler will host a day there. I know we've been saying we'll host a day at Stout, but this time we're dead
We'll
serious.
we'll head back because
We'll
that
head
place
back.
was well. That's great. Yeah, if you look it up, it's all over TikTok. This place with some
Yeah,
nice AI voice is probably saying "Long Club NYC" and some person going a day through the life. So
no, 100%. I think that's actually where I saw it first before
yeah,
Dan even mentioned it. I was like, oh, I think I saw that place on TikTok.
yeah.
And crazy. But another really cool place which I actually have not seen on TikTok, so I'm excited to see after we talk about this and we post it all online and see if it ends up flooding into my, TikTok page.
Probably will.
Um, we um we went a little bit back closer to Penn Station, so this way, once we were, done for the night, we could have an easier ride back. And we went to this bar called La Carvana, right? Did I
Yep.
say that right?
I think that's how I would say La Caverna. La
La
Caverna.
Caverna, yeah,
Yeah.
La Caverna. So basically it's a you take these steps downstairs. As you're going down, there's like this weird like cave writing on the walls that looks like, from cavemen. And then you walk down and it's this bar immersed in this
Cave. Yeah.
cave. It's like really kind of one of the coolest, the most unique bars that I've seen.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of like when I went to Disney and I went to the cantina
Yeah.
in Disneyland for the Star Wars event.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, this was even cooler because the music was just absolutely fire.
Yeah.
I don't know what that DJ did. I don't know if he took an SSC, SSC before and
I
just went crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was absolutely amazing. And the drinks honestly weren't as expensive as Lawn Club, which was nice.
No, I
I
don't think
was
anything could be as expensive
yeah,
as Lawn Club.
they were like your average New York City drink, you're paying
Mhm,
like $14 for a mixed drink. So,
mhm.
it is what it is nowadays. But place was so cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't wait to clip this down there. And honestly, we were there till like 2 in the morning
Yeah.
because the music was just awesome. We were all just vibing, even though we're all like, oh, we don't want to stay out too late. Catch Tyler and I and Taylor taking the 2:57 train back to Long Island.
Was tough
So
to get home at like 4:30 in the morning, but worth it because I made a decision in my mind. It was either the 1:30 or the 2:57. It was like 1:15, and I looked around. This place isn't that big either. It's pretty small.
yeah.
But it's fun. But yeah, the DJ, I've been there twice, and each time this DJ just plays every banger after banger. He plays most of the song. He doesn't cut it off too early, and he plays every good song. You're not sitting there and going, "Oh, this is a bad song." Blah blah blah. It's song after song after song that is just so good in this little cave area, and I recommend everyone to go to it because it's a lot of fun. I didn't want to catch that earlier train. I was ready to take on whatever consequences it brought getting home at 5 a.m. because no one was ready to leave yet.
Oh yeah, no, fuck no. We all had a great freaking time. So, um, yeah, man, New York City stays undefeated. There's so many
Yeah.
cool different places,
Hmm.
and I'm excited the next time we go to find maybe another two different bars that are different
Sure.
than the last.
Yeah.
So I just want to keep finding new cool bars. I feel like it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I think we don't go out in the city enough. We've found some hidden gems in the city, like you said. They're not so hidden anymore, but not places you expect. I remember we've been to Slate. Slate, you slide down,
Go down a slide,
as
yeah,
soon as you
that's
walk
fucking
into the
sick.
place. So there's some cool things in the city. I know they have a lot of people don't like going there. There's a lot of troubling things going on as well. But
Yes.
if you stay safe, you're aware of your surroundings, and you want to have a good time at a bar, make sure to go to some of these places.
Hell yeah, man, dude. And to stay on to our New York theme, how about we transition over and talk about our beloved New York sports teams?
Oh,
So,
brother.
Tyler, how about you start us off with our New York Knicks talk, to talk about how the last episode we were wishing them good luck, and now we're wishing them they had a good season. So,
Yeah, this is a murderer's row of New York sports teams we're about to talk about. This is going to be a tough on a Friday morning. But yeah, so the Knicks
most
have been
definitely.
eliminated. They were eliminated in Game 7 against the Pacers at home, and it kind of just seemed like their magic ran out a little bit. Hats off a little bit to the Indiana Pacers. I mean, they did put up 130, but the Knicks were being held together by duct tape and glue. Every person was hurt. I know OG came back for Game 7. Josh Hart came back was played Game 7. Brunson played Game 7, but all those guys were really walking on eggshells with their injuries, and they just couldn't get it done. OG didn't finish the game. Brunson, who has been dealing with different injuries, happened to break his hand that game. So it was like everything
Crazy.
that could go wrong for that team in Game 7 just did. And their season came to an unfortunate end, but it was still a lot of fun and a success in my eyes. I look forward to see what they could do to retool in the off season, and try and get better and make a even deeper run next year.
Yeah, man. Like you said, man, I think if OG was in that game 7 versus the Pacers, I think we would have won that game. We just needed a little bit more defense.
Hmm.
But even the fact of all the injuries we had, we still played well, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Besides that, like we still shot the ball well. Like the only problem was is that the Pacers shot a historic record
yeah.
for like a field goal percentage.
I
I think
know.
it was like 73%, which is ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
Because I think the end score was like 130 to like 107. 107 is like a normal NBA end score. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
even if it was like close, like even if they were like it was like 109 to like 107, at least like we're, a 2-pointer away from tying the game, a 3-pointer away from, going ahead.
yeah.
So it's like damn, like we are so close, but these guys just had to have had a historic game against them.
I know. I saw the stat. I think they had like 70 in the first half, which was like
Yeah.
the most ever for a game seven
Yeah.
in I think NBA history. So like yeah, that made it even tougher. That the Pacers, like I said, I gave them some credit as well because that wasn't the only reason they won. They do have a great offense, but it was a tough watch. It was a tough watch.
It was a tough watch, man. It was so sad. Just like then when Brunson got hurt, they put up the graphic of just all the Knicks that are hurt, and it's literally five out of literally our whole five starting players from the beginning of the season were
Yeah,
all injured.
yeah,
And it was like, this is crazy. Like, gotta give it up to like DiVincenzo. You gotta give it up to Hart, who literally played like every single minute.
yeah,
Gotta give it up to Hartenstein.
yeah,
All these guys who came in, and if you didn't know any better, if you weren't watching the Knicks for the whole regular season, you would have thought those guys were our starters because they were
yeah.
putting up starting numbers and they were
True.
playing fantastic basketball. But unfortunately, we just, the depth just ran out, and it was tough. It was tough. But
Yeah.
yeah, I want to say though is that Indiana, like I was going to say I wish that they played a little bit better against the Celtics in the next round,
Hmm.
but honestly, fuck them, and I'm so glad that they got swept. I never would have thought I would say that coming
I know.
from a Boston team,
Yeah.
but the Knicks would have won at least one game,
I
even if we're
think
all banged
that's the
up.
saddest part. Even as hurt as they were, I think they would at least force that series to go five, maybe even 6 games, just because they had the grit in them. I mean, I didn't think they would get past the Celtics, so it saved us a little stress.
Yeah,
Uh, but I think it would have been fun. I think it would have been interesting to see, two big market cities going at it, so close together. We have so many Celtics friends.
yeah,
Just to banter back and forth would have been fun.
100%.
Uh, it would have been fun to see. I think yeah, it was conflicting because I didn't want to root for the Celtics either. But I mean, Halliburton is just a bitch. I'm
No,
sorry to say it
dude.
like it is, but like, like they always say, like you have the same mentality when you're up or down. This guy talking trash when he's only up. I mean, I just can't respect it. I just
Dude,
don't
my
like it.
favorite thing though is freaking my boy Dante DiVincenzo, dude, the coldest white boy in the NBA.
Yeah,
Freaking no matter if he was down or he was up, he was still giving that shit back to Halliburton, and it
yeah.
was awesome,
I
bro.
know.
I
Yeah,
loved it.
exactly. Well, the worst thing too was Halliburton. After Game 7, wore the Reggie Miller
Oh yeah.
sweatshirt, but he didn't wear that
Uh-huh.
before the game. So
No,
he was
100%.
literally having that in his bag. Like you have to come with that same mentality. You can't
Yeah.
just be scared to get memed after. Like people, if you're a leader, you come out before games and say, "Hey, we're gonna win this game no matter what." And if you lose, you just have to take it. So
Yeah, I think it was like stupid. I was like watching his post game presser wearing the hoodie, and he was like, I don't even know where I got it. It showed up at my doorstep. I'm like, fucking bullshit. You had that shit made, and
yeah.
you were
Oh yeah.
like, you told one of the guys in the locker room, it was like, hey, if we win, I need you to have this in my locker for my presser. 100%. It was
Yeah,
all mind games.
I bet exactly. And the worst part about that is they lost that series when
Yeah,
Reggie Miller had the choke in. They lost that series. So,
exactly. It's crazy.
and we're saying that because we're New York Knicks fans, we gotta look for it, but they lost that series. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear that either. You got lucky.
I think my
But
favorite clip to come out of the whole series was when like the Knicks were up and Reggie Miller was in the house like announcing,
Yeah.
they were like, Josh Hart goes up to him, they go, "Hey Reggie, they're saying fuck you."
Yeah, yeah, that was good. Yeah, I
That
just
clip
like
was hilarious.
exactly. I just love this team. That's what made it even tougher because they all played for each other. They all loved each other. So I really hope. I know OG's a potential free agent. I know Brunson's due for a big contract. So I'm hoping they can keep this same team together. I believe Hardenstein's also a free agent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think the guy they need to go out is sign Hartenstein. I think they got to pay him.
Yeah.
I have a really good feeling because Dante and Josh Hart are locked down for the next 2 years.
Hmm.
I have a really good feeling that even when they are up for contract extensions,
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they're gonna want to all stay together because just the vibes are just so immaculate, all
Oh
of them
yeah.
playing together.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good chance that they all play together and they even take maybe some, vet deals or they do some weird contract negotiation where like
Hmm.
they'll pull an Otani where they'll, put some money off
Defer all their
until
money. Yeah. Who
for their
knows?
money until like a later
Yeah,
date.
who wouldn't want to play with their college boys, especially when you guys had such
Exactly.
success. I think, there's rumors, obviously the season's not over yet, technically. But I know there's rumors of Brunson even taking a discount on a deal, which would be great because
Oh yeah.
I think this offseason they said it's going to be like 4 years, 190 mil if he signs, but next year he would be due for 5 years, 270 mil. So to sign a year early and try and get some more cap space to sign some guys back, or even, because OG is going to be looked at, and a lot of
Oh
teams are going
yeah.
to want him. I even heard rumors about, maybe trading Randall to clear up cap space to keep OG. I don't hate it,
I
but
don't hate it. I don't love it because it's like as much hate as Randall does get, like he was
mhm,
an all-star for us this year. He
mhm.
does he did play really well. It's just I think his problem is he's got to learn that now this is Brunson's team. He's like proved it.
Yeah,
Before you could have argued that it was Randall's team.
yeah,
Now 100% certainty it is Brunson's team and now
yeah,
he has to be okay with that. So, we'll see, man. Time will only tell, but just tip of the cap to the Knicks and
yeah.
let's go Knicks.
Yeah, let's go Knicks. It's exciting to be a Knicks fan again. Hopefully, this wasn't a fluke year and they can come back strong next year again and make a run for it.
Yeah, yeah, man. And speaking of a run for it, I'm really hoping now in the NBA finals before we move on to our
Hmm.
next New York team. It's the finals are set as of last night. It is the Mavs versus the Celtics. And boy, I'm really hoping that Luca gets a ring. And I never thought I'd say this again either.
Hmm.
I hope Kyrie also gets a ring,
Yeah.
his second one. Which is I honestly was talking to Marcelo last night and we were just like talking about it. I was like, wait, Kyrie's playing the Celtics
Yeah.
for another ring, which is a crazy full circle moment because I remember him being like, I'm never leaving Boston, and then he went
Yeah.
to Brooklyn and now he's in Dallas. So
Yeah.
just kind of crazy that if he needs to win in a second ring, he's got to go through a team that he had put so much time and effort into.
Yeah, no, I've always been a big Luca fan. I've always liked the Mavs too for years and years. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm bandwagoning them, but it's tough too because I really want Luca to get this ring. I want him to get a ring. He gets so much hate for no reason. So I would love for him to cement the ring. I think it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's impossible. This Celtics team is just pretty
They
deep
are
with
pretty
depth.
deep, yeah.
So it's going to take a Luka and Kyrie masterclass pretty much every game to get it done. But I think it's going to be a good series.
I think so
Uh,
too. Honestly, I'm hoping if the game it just goes 5 or 6, man, I'm happy either
exactly, yeah.
way, you know.
Yeah, or just at least
So
close games. I know I turned on a lot of Celtics games and they were always up by like 15 or something. Even last night, like the Mavs blew out the Timberwolves. I just want some
yeah.
close, exciting games. But I did predict in our, 2024 predictions, I did predict Celtics win the championship. So I would be kind of
Oh,
upset, but not too upset.
I wonder who I predicted.
I don't know who you predicted.
I don't think I did. I don't think I predicted anybody.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
I just said I think the Orioles are gonna win.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
So anyway, but yeah, so that's basketball. Moving on to our next New York sports. We are less than 12 hours removed from the Rangers losing a heartbreaker in Game 5
Heartbreaker.
back at home at Madison Square Garden. And yeah, I'm not even mad. I'm just upset. It's just
Yeah,
Unfortunate after the magical run they've been on. I know it's definitely far from over. You still got 2 games, hopefully.
potentially. Yeah.
But coming back at home in a tied series and to really just put up a stinker last night. I know it wasn't their worst game of the series, but it was far from their best. I still feel like, I mean, you have a tied game going into the third period, and the Panthers came out like they wanted it, and the Rangers did a lot of trying to play catch up, and it was too little, too late for them.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, like the Panthers are just like they just wear you down. They play
I
like
know.
for like I've been like watching the games that I have watched, and
Yeah.
it's like I feel like the Rangers like have control for like the first period,
Hmm.
the second period they'll have control, and then for some reason like in the third period like all the
Yeah.
Rangers guys are just tired,
Yeah.
and then like it's just like the puck is in the Rangers zone for like
The
majority of the
whole time.
of the
Yeah.
third period, and it's just like it's ridiculous. It's like how can you get any momentum if you're just playing defense the majority of the period? And like tip of the cap to Igor, he's like literally honestly like one of the greatest goalies that I've freaking seen. I
I
mean,
know.
and you got Hank, jersey number hanging in behind you, and
Yeah.
we've watched him play, and we were
Yeah.
lucky enough to see him. But he's just playing lights out. I mean, I think in that game three where they ended up coming back and winning in OT, going up 2-1, he had like 90 saves or something fucking
Well, yeah,
ridiculous
yeah,
like
they had
that.
100 shot attempts, and yeah,
Yeah,
he ended up with like 40 or something saves and stuff. And it's just like,
yeah,
we're pretty blessed. I don't take for granted going straight from Hank to Igor,
yeah,
because I mean, some teams are searching for goalies for their whole existence. So I do really applaud Igor for everything he's doing. I feel bad for the guy. I could see after,
yeah.
he makes a wide open save or a breakaway or 2-on-1 or a shot in the slot, and he literally looks at his team some of the times like, how is this still happening? Like, can you guys give me a little bit of help?
Little bit of help,
Because he
man.
could do everything but score a goal. And I think if he really tried, I think he could. But I
Yeah,
mean, besides the team getting worn down, I think it's just him. Because it's just
yeah.
him constantly going this way, that way with shots. Because, that second goal, I won't blame completely on Igor. It was an odd man rush, but it's something that I'm sure he wants back.
Oh, 100%.
I think it was a stoppable puck for sure. So, I mean, if,
Yeah, because especially playing as crazy as he has and saving some of the crazier shots, I saw that one goal. Like, you know, getting that goal past you must be tough because it's like I literally blocked 17,000 other shots harder than this
yeah,
the whole
right,
series.
exactly. I
So
know.
it's like so tough. But that's just like I feel like the game of hockey,
Oh,
sometimes
yeah,
sometimes it's a game of inches. So it's very, very tough. I mean, me personally, this is the most hockey that I think I've ever watched.
fair.
And honestly, I think I gotta, you know, tip the cap to the boys getting me to play Chell. So it's got me so invested in actually watching hockey games.
Yeah.
But no, it's been really good hockey to see. And like you said, I don't think they're done. I think if they can play well, I mean we talked about this a little bit before we got on air, is that apparently the ice condition at MSG just hasn't been it.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what's up with that. I've been hearing that from both teams after the game, and like I
yeah,
told Carl, like obviously Kreider said it best. He's not using it as an excuse. I'm not using it as an excuse, obviously. Both teams have complained about it, but both teams are playing on the same ice, you know? So
yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
day, one team is just managing with it better. So
Yeah. No, 100%. And again, it's like they're they're playing really well, but it's
yeah,
just something about it. It's like when I didn't watch the last game, but when I was watching game 4, I was like I was a little pissed off because I don't know, maybe I could be wrong about this, but I felt like they were just the last like 4 minutes when you had a chance to, go down and get a fast break and put pressure on, and you never know, get a shot on goal, maybe it
yeah,
goes in. And they were just like dumping it, and they were like, you know, l- um, they were shift changing
yeah.
about like every 40 seconds, or it
I
seemed
know.
like it was less than that. It was like 20 seconds. I was like,
Yeah,
why are they changing the lines so fast? I was
I
like,
know.
get some momentum. I was like, are they saving time because they're trying to push to go to OT? I mean, like, but I was like, come on, like you have the opportunity to go down and put a little bit of pressure. You've been in your zone the whole fucking
I
period.
know. I know.
Like,
It's
go down there and
it's
put some pressure.
It's so frustrating because you think they're finally playing good, and then all of a sudden, like you said, the Panthers just wear you down. Especially like last night. I know you said you didn't watch too much. The first and second period, we played great.
Yeah.
Um, we had one lapse that led to the tying goal for them, but then the third period started tied 1-1, and I think the Panthers had the first 7 or 8 shots on goal in the first 5 minutes. It
Yeah.
was just shot after shot after shot, and obviously. They have a goalie on the other side, Bobrovsky, who only allows 2 goals or less in like every single game. So
Yeah.
once they get that second goal, it's almost like game over. That's how good he is. So you really
It's
have to start
crazy.
like peppering him, and they just, he can be beat. They just don't get enough shots on him because
Yeah.
they pass a
Because
lot or
they pass a lot, or we are freaking stuck in our own, end of the zone
I
for the
know,
whole period. Like, it
I
was
know.
ridiculous. I mean, like, what do you think the reasoning behind them, like, like shift changing, whatever the fuck it's
Line
called,
change,
line change? Yeah.
yeah.
What's the like, I guess, strategy for doing that in the last like 5 minutes of the game? Like, why are you like shifting every two 20 or the 20 seconds or 30 seconds? I was
Yeah,
like, this is ridiculous.
I know because that's usually like I believe like a shift is only like 40 seconds to a minute, for
Yeah,
most teams, and I think come third period a lot of coaches usually do short shifts like 20, 30 seconds just to keep the legs fresh, so you feel good late. But yeah, sometimes it just feels like too much to me. I mean, I'm not a coach obviously, but yeah, like you said, sometimes it feels like they can have a chance to at least put some pressure on, but they dump and then they change and then they get on the ice, they're chasing the puck, they have to dump again, they're changing. It's just a
exactly.
constant cycle.
Yeah. It's
So
like
it is
you're never gonna
frustrating.
get the you're never gonna get the puck down in like the offensive zone if you can't get a fast break or momentum. If you're just gonna dump it and just hand it over to the other team, like, what the hell do you expect?
I know. It's tough. It's tough. A lot of the credit goes to the Panthers, but I think the Rangers can just, if they could just figure it out a little bit, I think they can, get it done.
Nah, I'm literally gonna put my life savings on the Rangers winning game 5. I mean game 6.
Yeah.
And game 7, honestly, anybody's ball game. Do they come back to the MSG
Yeah,
or
for game 7.
so? I mean, listen, dude. You're playing a game 7 in New York. I know the Pacers just did it, but
Yeah.
it's hard, man. That crowd is gonna be loud,
Yeah.
and you're in enemy territory, and no better place to be than New York. So, especially for Rangers hockey, those
Hmm.
fans love that team. So,
Absolutely. This has been a great team, and they've been too good to go out like this. So I think they have a strong showing in game 6. I think they bring it home Monday, where you said anything can happen, and I like our chances even again. So one
yeah,
game
you
at a
can
time.
you can clip my ass after this for if they lose, but I think we'll see you in game 7.
I think
So
so too. I
I
think
hope
so
so,
too.
man. Let's go freaking Rangers,
Let's go
dude.
Rangers.
So, to a one really high team that we are all loving so much, to an absolute dumpster fire of a team, the fucking New York Mets.
Yeah.
Very excited to talk about this one. So Tyler, over the past couple of days, it's just been rough as a Met fan. They're just losing everything. I mean, not even the past couple of days. It's been like a
Weeks.
3-4 week
Yeah.
stretch, man. It's been like almost a month stretch of them just like barely scraping out a win and then having the lead and then Edwin Diaz coming in and blowing the same save. As people know on this podcast, I have a 20 game season ticket pack for Saturdays. So out of the games that we've been to, we've had 10 or 9 scheduled. Tomorrow, as the next Saturday, will be our 10th game of the season that we had our tickets to.
Yep.
I've only been out of the 9 that we've had so far. I've been to 8, and we're 0-8 in the 8 games that
That's
I've,
great. That's
which is
so tough.
a wild stat. And I have to say that out of those 8 games, I want to say at least 5 or 6, we've led going into the eighth or the ninth inning and have blown the leads
Yeah.
in late games. I've been to 2 extra inning games and we've lost both extra inning games where it favors the home team.
Yeah.
So this has been going on all season.
Yep.
Like, they started off slow, they went on the road, they were hot, and then now it's just a complete dumpster fire. They can't win on
Hmm.
home, they can't win away. It's ridiculous. And just the icing on top of the cake was I think it was Tuesday night or yeah, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, I
Um
believe.
Javier Lopez, the reliever for the New York Mets,
Jorge.
Jorge, yeah. So Jorge Lopez comes in, absolutely throws a dumpster fire of an inning.
Yeah.
He blows the game. He comes off of the mound, throws his glove into the stands, and obviously, Mendoza, the manager for the Mets, wasn't very happy with
No.
how he acted. So he comments saying that that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And then they interview Lopez after the game, and obviously, his English isn't very great. He hasn't like a thicker accent, because he is Latino descent. So,
Is that a
the
guess?
yeah, I think so.
Great. Keep
Yeah.
going.
So he obviously it's a little bit, there's a language barrier between
Yeah, it's not his first language. English
yeah
is not his first
yeah,
language.
so it's a little barrier between him and the media, and he made a comment along the lines that the Mets were the worst team that he's ever been on. And the absolute just like I want to say media presence that this followed was crazy. Like I had
Hmm.
friends that don't even give a crap about the Mets texting me being like, "Wow, you have your own players saying that this is the worst team that
Yeah.
you've ever been on." I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Tyler? Because I mean, then find out too is that he gets DFA'd,
Obviously.
so they cut him from the team,
Yeah.
rightfully so, and like within moments after him having this presser, and then it comes out that that same night that Francisco Lindor leads a players only meeting with him and Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah.
So just crazy. But Tyler, what do you think about the whole scenario?
Yeah, so it's so tough because I feel like the Mets just find new ways to lose. Like it's not
Yes.
just losing on a tough streak. It's literally Diaz imploding, Diaz getting hurt, Pete getting hit in the hand, this whole mess, the off the field stuff too. Like it's just crazy. Lopez in that sense also was challenging a check swing. That's why he was upset and got ejected. I thought it was a check swing, and he's mad he got ejected for talking back to the ump and saying he didn't. He was barking at the ump. So I think he kind of deserved to get ejected. I'm not too mad about that. But yeah, just the antics, just the throwing of the glove after you just gave up 4 runs and
Yeah.
you just blew the game for the team and you're upset about this. It's just frustration, honestly. It's the whole team is just frustrated. But I will say, as soon as I heard the interview after the game, when everyone's saying, when you see him in his locker saying, I'm on the worst effing team in the league, turned to Taylor and I said, he did not say that. He said teammate. What I heard at least was him actually
Yeah.
saying, I know he doubled back and said, listen, I said teammate, and it looks like him trying to save grace a little bit, but I think he said teammate. I think he said I am the worst effing teammate in the league because he's embarrassed. It's something he
Yeah.
knows he can't do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make excuses for the glove throwing. That shouldn't happen. But I just think he said worst effing team. But he also doubled back and said it was a combination of team and teammates. So he kind of dug himself a deeper hole.
Yeah, I don't know because I said the from the so yeah, so I was waiting for you to bring that up. Is I think the next day after all, like the next morning, he tweeted, or he posted on some sort of social media that he was like, I said teammate, I said I'm the worst teammate. Just for clarification, thank you, media, for making it worse than it seems.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was like honestly a very real moment, because that's what the media does. They're
Oh yeah.
grasping at straws, and it blew up. It was
Yeah.
literally what they wanted to do, and it literally blew up.
Yeah. I
So
mean, yeah.
yeah, I mean, having that being said, like like you said, I mean, when I heard it too, like, because I listened to it and then I saw the reports, and I didn't go back and then re-listen to it.
Hmm.
I was like, oh wow, wait, maybe he did say that. And then after I saw that he said I didn't say that, I was like, oh, let me go back again and listen to it. And he does, it does not say the worst team. I mean, it
No.
is very kind of like muffled in a way where
Yeah.
it could go two ways. It could be team, it could be teammate. But I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I feel like as a player, I don't think, especially a player of his caliber, it's not like he's like a top 10 player in the league. He
Yeah,
can't he can't like he can't risk saying something like that because no team is gonna want you
no,
no clubhouse is gonna want you in there if you're ratting out the rest of your team.
yeah.
So
Exactly. That's the thing too, is this guy is, fighting for his job and for
yeah,
his a contract every single day. Because yeah, he's not in a secure spot with any team, and you come out and you bash the team you're on, that you were gonna get cut after you threw that glove into the stands to begin with.
yeah,
But to then, start saying some other stuff, no team's gonna want to sign you with that attitude.
100%.
So, I do feel bad for him in the sense that, like I said, when I first heard it, I heard teammate. The other guys just said team, let's run with it, the media. Like you said, it blew up like any media story does, especially with the Mets, because it just seems so easy with them because they make storylines themselves every single day.
Every freaking day, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just so tough because I feel like the Mets players are just, like I said, they find new ways to make it just tough to be a fan, you know?
Yes.
Like, I understand
Yes.
a few weeks ago, like where Lindor's comments came from. He made his return to Cleveland. They asked him what
Yeah.
he missed most about Cleveland, and he says winning. Granted, the Mets haven't really been on deep playoff runs in his time here. He had some better playoff runs and more winning with the Indians, or now Guardians. But for him to say winning is just, what are you thinking,
Crazy.
man? Especially
Yeah.
from a man. I know he went 4 for 4 last night, but for a man hitting 200, who he signed the biggest contract for a shortstop, and he's had one good year with the team. Every other year, he's teetering around 210, 215.
Yeah.
Like, to say winning and you're not really contributing as much as you can be
As you
is,
should be. You got signed and paid all that money to be contributing, and you're fucking hitting like a rusty gate, dude.
yeah.
Like, fuck, man.
I like that one. I know, like I said, like teams go through slumps all the time, but when the Mets go through slumps, it's always just off-field storylines that just fuel the fire even worse. It's like they
Yeah.
just, for years, they can't just lose and lose correctly almost.
Yeah. And it's crazy too because I would love to be coming and talking today and being like that players only meeting didn't do fucking shit.
I
Like
know.
why would they call players only meeting? Like the office has to do something. They need to get a better leadership in there or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, Thursday night baseball comes on and, Francisco Lindor pulls it off. He goes 4 for 4 with a
Yeah.
home run, a couple RBIs. JD Martinez, hits a go-ahead home run, and next thing you know, the Mets win 3-2.
Yeah.
And now the players only meeting looks like it was like the best thing that ever happened to the
Yeah,
Mets. And
true.
now watch this. They're gonna go on a streak where, they win the next like 5 out of the 7 series that they play, and we'll still be below 500.
Exactly.
And it'll be like, oh, that players only meeting helped. And it's like, no, they just actually started playing baseball.
Yeah.
So
Literally, it's like it's so tough because we obviously don't know how the players only meeting is gonna turn out. Obviously, they're 1-0 now. That was great. We don't know how these weeks ahead are gonna go, but at this point, before players only meeting, I mean, the team, I remember in years past going to games as a kid. Granted, I didn't pay attention to a lot of the outside noise when I was younger, but you would go to the game and you'd be rooting for exciting stuff. I remember Ike Davis going for 40 homers, Lucas
dude,
Duda going for
yes, Ike
30, Dickey
Davis.
going for 20 game winners. And then you come to a game and you got some young kids you can look forward to. But what else storylines can you really look forward to? Hopefully Alvarez comes back as another kid you can watch. But
Yeah, he had a 3-run home run last night in his
yeah,
minor league
but
rehab
besides
stint.
besides the kids, I mean, you're watching Pete and Lindor battle who's not going to hit below
Yeah.
200.
Yeah, no.
Um, it's just tough. I saw Lindor bat leading off last night. He's batting 214. I mean, that's why would you lead that guy off? Two hitter. DJ Stewart walks up to the plate, 194. I'm like, oh, here comes Nimmo. Why isn't he leading off? 210. I was like, oh my God, like this is just abysmal, these batting averages.
Dude, it's literally to the point when you go to the game now, they don't even put the batting average up. They put OPS on the scoreboard,
Yeah,
which is the most like infuriating stat to me, bro.
yeah,
Because it's like baseball has always been literally calculated by batting
yeah.
average. I
No,
mean,
that's a good
granted,
point.
I understand that like maybe like for nowadays, like money, like ever since like Moneyball, maybe nowadays that's not the only attribute that,
Yeah,
or the only stat that like I guess should a player should be judged on.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, like I people have been going to baseball games
oh
for
yeah,
over 100 years, and I'm telling you, as long as that scoreboard has been in the sky,
mm-hmm,
it's had the player's name and the batting average after. Because at the
always,
end of the day, no matter how much that you want to say, it doesn't matter if I go to a game and I see a player hit 10 times and he doesn't hit he only hits one out of those 10 times. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be on a major league field. You should at
yeah,
least be able to hit 2 to 3 times. I'm not
yeah,
saying it's going to happen every 10 at bats, but people go on streaks. And that's why the batting average matters, because I'm going to go up and watch this guy strike out
yeah,
for 20 at bats straight. No thanks. I don't
yeah.
need that on the team.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because I know you pointed it out to me like maybe last year, even 2 years ago, because the Mets
Yeah.
averages, I mean, averages all around the league have just been dropping. So many guys are now, knocking in 100 runs, hitting 30 homers, and hitting like 210.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the norm. But yeah, no, I'm so used to having the batting average up there because that is what kind of matters the most in my eyes. You don't
Me
need every
too.
guy to hit 300, but at least hit
No.
250.
That's what I'm saying. If you can hit 250, even nowadays, I'll even give you a 240. I'll give you
Yeah,
240. If you can hit 240, because listen, there's more people throwing 100 miles per hour than
yeah.
there is. And like, I just found this out the other day. I don't know if you know about the labs. Have you heard about the labs?
I have not. Please
So,
enlighten me.
so apparently now every like pitch or every team has this thing called the lab, and it's like the pitching lab is for pitchers, basically to show um basically like younger pitchers, or like it's like
Sure.
this is how like Verlander got good again, because Houston was like the first person to come up with their lab. And
Hmm.
it's all these metrics and all these like different ways to twist and turn a baseball to make it impossible to hit the baseball. So
Okay.
like every team is now having this thing called a lab to make it impossible for a hitter to hit.
Uh-huh.
They're coming up with the different ways to turn the baseball and the different movement that you can put on it, the breaking angles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And all this, you have people throwing 100, and then you have like these incredible like 12 to 6 breaks, or the sliders that break like a freaking 3 feet off of the batter's box once they're right in the middle of the box.
Mm.
It's hard. So
Yeah.
I understand why it's a little bit harder, but listen, man, putting bat on a ball and just putting the ball in play, uh good things happen. It's just too many strikeouts now.
Y-
So
Yeah, it really is. That's an interesting stat to look at because I mean there are so many different pitches. People throwing slurves, sweepers, 12 to
yeah.
sixes. I mean the spin rates and all this stuff. I mean you can track everything now, and I think sometimes the Mets even track too much. Really,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys. So something's got to change because
Yeah.
it just seems like not a lot of good things going well for Uncle Stevie.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I think honestly, I wasn't a fan of it at the deadline originally. Like, in the beginning of the season, they were like, "Yeah, the deadline. If people aren't playing good, we're gonna trade Alonso. They'll probably trade JD Martinez, whatever, blah blah blah."
yeah,
At first, I was like, "No, like I want them to, even if they are like close around 500, I want them to try and fight. It's
yeah.
easy to get one of those wild cards now.
It
You
is,
know,
yeah. But at
they're
least
saying."
they. Sorry, keep going.
They're saying that's even possible for a team that's under 500 to win a wild card spot, which is going to be crazy in the
Yeah,
National League.
yeah. A lot of those teams are pretty mediocre, honestly, who are holding the wild card spots right now. So it's very possible that some team can slip in. And I
Yeah.
mean, regardless, at the end of the day, the only thing I'm happy is they just play the kids. At
Yeah.
least see what you got in those guys, regardless if you're playing well or not playing well. Because I mean, you put a lot of stock in that this could be the future, and you can build with these guys for a turnaround. So hopefully they start producing some more. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that what's gonna happen is well, one thing I think they should have done, as much as I actually was a fan of the JD Martinez signing, because it showed that like they wanted to try and win now.
yeah,
I think like in retrospect, you really should have just not done that and let Beatty and Vientos play every day to see what you have out of those guys. I
fair.
mean, Beatty's been playing every day, but Vientos, I mean, he was in the AAA for a majority of the season so far, but
Yeah.
since he's come up, he's hit big time home runs and like
Yeah.
he's had some bigger hits. So it would have been cool to kind of see like him be on the opening day roster and, get some more playing time instead of now kind of having to platoon between the DH spot
Yeah.
or the third base. So it's tough, but I do think that like we'll see like Acuna come up sooner rather than later. So Ronald Acuna's brother, and they have a couple other good pitching prospects, I think. I'm not really sure. So
Yeah.
hopefully they end up putting them in and stuff, but we'll
Ho-
see what happens.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully we have another update on the Mets in a few weeks that is a little better than this one.
I
Hopefully this
think we
players
certain
only meeting
I think we
does turn
certainly will.
around.
Yeah, hopefully Francisco's player only meeting actually ends up working.
Yeah,
So we shall see.
exactly.
But yeah, so our last topic before the lovely game Tyler has planned for us is a quick thing about how we've just kind of been hyping up this whole Deadpool and Wolverine movie, kind of like everybody else is. And we've talked about popcorn buckets this year with the Dune popcorn bucket.
Oh man.
And Deadpool came out and said that he was going to top the Deadpool the Dune 2 popcorn bucket. And let me tell you, I think he did. For
Yeah.
any of you that haven't seen it, it is hilarious. And I think what's even better than the popcorn bucket itself is the little trailer, the reveal trailer that they put out for it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
it's hilarious. Do you want to describe it, Tyler?
yeah, it's so funny too because I remember when those Dune buckets came out, it was supposed to be like those sandworms. The name's escaping me, but
I think they're
sand.
literally just called sandworms.
Even better. All right.
Yeah,
So it was like supposed to be those sandworms, and it looked pretty sus, those
very
popcorn buckets,
sus.
but it was really just alluded to look sus, and it was just the internet running with it. And Deadpool dropped a trailer with a Wolverine bucket. You'll have to look it up for the movie. And yeah, he really doesn't. Yeah, what's the look Carl has right now. It's not even inferred. It looks pretty like they knew what they were doing when they released this bucket and they ran with it in the trailer. It's just they highlight it, the music in the background, and just when you're like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen, the trailer ends with butter dripping down the
Dripping down its
front
face,
of
like
Wolverine's face,
oh,
and you're
bro,
just
it's
like,
so funny,
oh
bro.
my God, like if I already didn't want to see this movie and the marketing was everywhere, we have to go now because now we have to get this popcorn
I
bucket.
have no idea how what's it called? Disney hasn't shut that shit down, bro.
Dude,
Like how is
literally.
that possible, man? Like, oh, this shit's so crazy.
I know I got to try and find it right now, but yeah, and if this starts like a popcorn war, like he's talking about, I'm all here
Yeah,
for the
he's like the
buckets.
Great Popcorn Bucket War of 2024.
Because I mean,
I was
I'm so
I was
stupid
dead.
because I literally just looked up popcorn buckets, and I mean, obviously this is just a generic what you're
Yeah,
usually used to, but I mean, just now I got to see this again because Wolverine popcorn bucket.
I
I
gotta
mean,
see. I know Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
that is just crazy. Unveils sexual Dune-inspired popcorn bucket. Dude,
It's Dune inspired is crazy.
oh my God, this first line of this article just goes, move over, Dune. There's a new bangable popcorn bucket in town. My goodness.
Dude, I was watching a guy like kind of break the popcorn bucket down. He goes, dude, the tongue is textured. Like if you zoom in on the tongue, it's textured. It's not like just like a plain like yeah, look at that thing. It's like textured. So it's not even just like it's not even like it's just a
Oh,
plain like slab. It's like they literally are like they know what they're doing. They know what
yeah.
they're doing. Oh,
Dude,
it's crazy.
that is just a wild thing. Deadpool, these headlines are also more wild.
And the fact that I'm gonna have to stick my hand and my fingers into this Wolverine head is just awesome, and I'm so there for it, and I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be like right here. It's gonna when I get it, it's gonna be like my new prized possession. Like these Dune books are here because like that's like the coolest thing that we've talked about recently. But that's gonna be my new prized possession, up with my other popcorn buckets. I got Ant-Man, Spider-Man,
Those are
and
cool.
Gwen Stacy. Yeah, yeah.
Those are cool,
So.
but Are you writing these articles? Listen to this headline: Deadpool and Wolverine's official popcorn bucket invites you to cram your hand inside Hugh Jackman. The Dune 2 popcorn buckets at the bar very, very low in the best way possible for in-theater hijinks, and Deadpool has now added to its own flair. And Hugh Jackman isn't going to be happy about it. I would love to see his reaction because I definitely know he
I
had to
think
have known before this came out.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing about the popcorn bucket itself is that like on the side of it it says Deadpool designed so that like nobody can really get mad at like Disney for doing it like that. It's like we'll just blame Ryan Reynolds. Like
That's
it's fine.
that's fair, and it's even funnier too because it's like Deadpool or Hugh Jackman is reprising his role as Wolverine for this. This is what the
Yes.
world has come to.
Yes. Dude, honestly, bro, I think that this movie is going to just be amazing. And like honestly, even if it's like not like the best movie in the world, just the
Yeah,
experience and like everybody going to this movie just like ready for it is just
yeah,
gonna be like outstanding.
yeah. Because I think no
So,
one's going in with like the huge expectations that they usually do that MCU has to be saved. I think they might just
yeah.
go into it as it's a good movie because it's the first Deadpool one under MCU.
Yeah,
So,
and what's crazy too is that the it's been a controversy the past like couple of weeks that there's been these really good movies that are out and like they just haven't been making the money that they
mhm.
should. For example, like a movie like Fall Guy that's about a stuntman with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Like apparently everybody thought that movie was gonna, at least like do some decent money at the box office because the marketing for it was pretty good. But then next thing you know, it's in the movie theaters for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and it's already in streaming services. You can buy it on a streaming service.
Exactly. That's never good when that happens.
Yeah, no. So it's like they're losing all this money for what?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But yeah, so I'm so excited to get my hands on one of those popcorn buckets. If you can't get one, Tyler, I'll definitely buy you one.
Please, please
Because
do, please do.
I'm going earlier probably than you will. I already have my tickets set. The tickets went online, I think, last Sunday,
Hmm.
and they've already made $10 million.
Awesome.
The movie doesn't come out till July,
That's crazy.
guys.
So
Yeah,
they're already making
wild.
some, that's the craziest part too. I already said I have to try and get their opening weekend. This is one of those movies where I don't want to see spoilers online. And it's going to be all over social media. So it's a movie that I'm excited for. And even if no one can go with me, I will be there opening weekend at some point. So
I'm gonna force Taylor to go with you if I can't drive my ass up there with you.
she might like it. I wouldn't take her to any of the other movies, but she might like that one. It's Ryan
I think
Reynolds
she'll
and Hugh
think it's funny.
Jackman at
Yeah.
base level. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
come on. Eye candy at most.
True. And it's also
Yeah.
one of those movies where you don't have to watch like 10 to 12 other movies to understand
Yeah.
what's going on.
They,
This is
the,
just a fun movie.
the director literally was like, "Yeah, you don't have to do any research." He's like, "Obviously, research will be very helpful, but
Yeah,
he's like, you'll be fine.
yeah,
You'll be fine."
exactly, exactly. I can't wait for it. July cannot come soon enough.
Dude, I cannot wait, man. It's gonna be so exciting.
Exactly. But
Exactly.
that is all the games.
Or that's all the topics that we had for today. So
Exactly.
Tyler, how about you throw us into the lovely game you got planned for us?
Yeah, it's a little fun game. Something that I'm interested to see how you're gonna do. And I was inspired walking by one of my wall decorations. But I'm gonna name about 5 or 6 classic cocktails, and I want you to try and name the ingredients that go in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I
Very
feel
on par for our two-man thought of the week.
yeah, exactly. And plus, I feel like, you work in catering, some of these drinks you maybe had to make working behind a bar. Some of
Yeah,
them
of
easier than
course.
others. And there's some even on here that I've never even heard of, but I would love to see if you could even just get the liquor.
All right,
Uh,
bet. Cool.
so exactly. And obviously some of these are pretty like pretentious with the ingredients on this picture because I'm sure a lot of people don't make every single drink this way.
Yeah,
But
you could probably like add or subtract some things to each one, probably.
Exactly, exactly. So, and you don't have to say how many ounces for each.
Okay,
But
cool,
I'm
cool, cool.
interested to see, how many of the ingredients you can get.
All right, all right. Let's do it.
That's my guess. So the first drink I have will start off kind of simpler. Probably a drink that you fancy in quite a bit, and we'll go with tequila sunrise.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, so this used to be my drink ve literally just all of college.
Yeah.
But yeah, so So I think that the liquor you use is actually tequila. Am I right?
You went on a limb and you got it.
All right. So yeah, so tequila and then it's orange juice and cranberry juice
Sure.
is the mix between the tequila sunrise. Those are the three main ingredients.
Beautiful. I'll give you that one for sure. On this picture, it says grenadine, but I feel like more
Oh,
likely than not.
actually no, yeah, you're right. It is grenadine. It could be grenadine or cranberry. I've seen people do both.
I was about to say both are red, so I'm not gonna dock you for that because, like I said, you could add or subtract kind of your preference. And in
Yeah, I
this
think
one,
I would do grenadine because I like that, that sugar.
you like that red 40.
Yeah, that red 40 baby.
Can't beat it. I remember the first time I learned how much I was abusing my body with how much grenadine I was putting in my cherry cokes. So shout out everyone who told me to lay off.
Lay off.
And this also says an orange wedge on top, but most of the times you order this at the bar,
Yeah, exactly. They're
you're
like,
not
fuck
getting an
it.
orange wedge.
Yeah.
All right. This next one I have is a screwdriver.
So that one is very simple. Just
Yeah.
OJ and some vodka.
Yeah. What is, oh, never mind. I was gonna say, what's the difference between that and a mimosa, but champagne?
Yeah,
Duh.
just yeah. It's basically a mimosa that'll just get you more hammered,
Yeah,
essentially.
true. So, all right, doing great. This
Doing great.
next one I have is a good old fashioned.
Ooh, this one is a little bit tougher. So you start with before you actually you can do it a couple of ways. I'm gonna give you the easier way to do at
Sure.
home. So you start with taking an orange peel and a cherry. You can do one or the other. Some people just do the orange peel. You
Yeah.
muddle it on the bottom of the glass.
Sure.
You then put a little bit of sugar in there. Then you
Yep.
top it with the bourbon, and then you add a couple of splashes of bitter on top, and then you finally garnish with a nice orange slice on top.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head here too. Because
Yeah.
I remember, obviously, you remember the one day you had to work as a bartender,
Yes.
and believe Langus, right, told you ahead of time, like, hey, just maybe fresh up on some things like old fashions and Manhattans. And what was the first thing that someone asked you for?
Was an old fashioned. And
Yep.
dude, actually that day was funny. Like I had to bartend and I was like, yeah, I know how to make drinks. He was like, do you know how to make an old fashioned or a martini? I was like, roughly. He's like, all right, let me show you how to make it. And he
Yeah.
showed me and I was like, dude, why the fuck I was pissed. I was like, why do I need to learn how to make a martini? The first thing that one of the girls walks up to me, he's
Yep.
like, can I get a dirty martini, extra dirty?
Of
And I'm
course.
like, oh fuck, this girl is so screwed. Like, I don't know how to fucking make this thing. And let me tell you, I guess I must have made it good because she only came up to me that night to get the martinis.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm applauding myself.
that's
So
awesome. I remember working once behind the bar with Jimmy, and they asked us for something that was kind of out there. It wasn't a martini, but it might have been maybe it was, or something like along the same lines, like something that's not just a tequila soda or a vodka soda or something. And I remember he kind of knew how to make it. He was looking on his phone. He did all this. He prefaced, he doesn't really know. And she walked away, and you saw her take a sip, and she went, and she went to her friend like, try this, like, make sure it's not just me. And she tried it too, and they both didn't like it. And Jimmy felt so bad. He ran up to her. He was like, I'm so sorry. I can make you something else or go to someone else. Like, that's so tough, because it was a tough drink. I forgot what it is. It's like when you go into like a wedding, it's like just get your
just get the
standard
basic
stuff.
shit, man. Like
Yeah, come on, man.
you're not going to a cocktail bar where
Yeah,
these bartenders are world-class bartenders. Like you got the 18, 19-year-old kids behind there, or you have like the 40-year-old bartender that's been there since like the beginning of time who's just only known how to make it since they were 19. So it's not like they've, learned
literally.
anything different. So
Literally. So, but yeah, for the old fashioned, you hit the nail on the head. It says, bourbon. It says simple syrup or sugar packets, I guess, really, whatever.
yeah, you could use
Um, you
either or.
you want to put in it. It has the bitters, the orange peel, and cherry, and it also says a quarter ounce of water. I know.
Yeah, you put like a little bit of water in just to dilute some of the sugar. Like if you put a sugar packet in, it's I think the water is more needed,
To break it
but
up, kind of a
to
little
break it
bit.
up kind of, yeah, but
Gotcha.
if you use like simple syrup, I feel like it's not as needed as much.
Gotcha. Uh, all right. So these next few I have are a little tough. Drinks that
Oh
I've
God.
never really heard of. So we'll be educating people at the same exact time. But the next drink I have is a Negroni.
Um All right, so I've had somebody ask me for this drink before,
Okay.
full disclosure, and I have had to make it, but honestly, I don't know if I remember the ingredients all too well. Um, can you is it made with whiskey or bourbon?
It is not.
Is it made with gin?
It is made with gin.
Okay, so it's made with gin. Um, and
Only two
then
more ingredients technically,
is
so
it Campari?
it is. It is gin, Campari, and
And
there is
then
one more thing.
um, gin Campari. Is it seltzer or OJ?
It is not, at least what I have here.
Nah,
Uh, uh,
I just took a wild guess because those are the two most popular ones.
yeah,
So gin Campari,
I think it's another
and
like
it's a liqueur, right?
I think
Is
so.
it is it it's not triple sec, right?
No, it is not triple sec.
Amaretto,
No, you're kind of on the right track in a sense. Uh,
Aperol.
No,
All right, I give up.
it is. It says an ounce of sweet vermouth.
Ah, shit, I wouldn't have gotten that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
that does sound very, yeah, that's crazy.
never had, but it does sound delicious. That's also a drink just like you're not ordering at a wedding. You're ordering at like a cocktail
Oh,
bar. If you're having a
100%.
drink or two at
Yeah.
like a place, like get out of here.
I've definitely had that though. I've had to make that at a wedding. And I was like, "What did you just say to me?"
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, "Oh, okay, I got you."
Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, you got the gin eventually, and you got the Campari. So you're
Yeah.
kind of already a third of the way there, two
All
thirds of
right,
the way
I give
there.
myself a 75% on that one.
Exactly. So I got two more fun ones here. We'll see if you get them. We'll see what happens. Regardless, we'll educate ourselves at the end of the day. But this one I got is a milk punch.
Well, I'm gonna say it's close to kind of like a White Russian, right? Does it
Probably.
have milk in it?
Uh, Technically, yeah. Because
Technically, yeah.
it says I'll just give it away. It says heavy cream. So I mean, I
Okay,
guess
yeah, so yeah.
it's got
So it's
dairy.
it's got dairy.
Yeah.
So all right, so it's like a White Russian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think it's made with vodka. Is it made? It's not made with vodka. I'm gonna say it's made with. There's no way it's made with tequila. That would just be gross.
Yeah, that sounds pretty gross too. Anything with just dairy just sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Whiskey,
No,
gin.
no, no,
So it's not vodka. It's not whiskey. It's not gin. It's
nope,
not tequila.
nope.
I'm running out of my tree of liquors here.
Mm-hmm.
Bourbon? I mean,
Nope.
bourbon and whiskey are kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I would have told you if it was like whiskey or bourbon. I would have said, but no.
I give up, man.
It's made with brandy.
That's like the same family, whiskey, fucking bourbon, brandy.
I
But
figured. I mean, I
yeah,
didn't really
I
know
wouldn't
too
have
well,
I
but
wouldn't have guessed that though.
exactly. So it was out there, but this drink just doesn't sound great. Any drink made with dairy just doesn't sound appealing to me, but it's brandy, heavy cream, simple syrup, vanilla extract, and grated nutmeg. At least if you want to be really
Grated
fancy.
nutmeg. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. And
Okay. I see you. I see you.
exactly. And this last one I have here is it's called a sidecar. You got any guesses?
Is it like an Irish card bomb?
No, not at all. I actually can't even really pronounce one of the ingredients.
A sidecar. Does it have a shot like on the side?
No,
I
that
feel
would
like
be smart.
that would be a smart idea.
Yeah. Have you seen,
Um,
sorry to change the subject, have you seen some of those deals they have at bars where it's like a shot and a beer for like $9?
what?
Some places are like a shot beer $9, and then one place has a shot beer and scratch off card for like 11. Yeah, I
Wait,
don't know where it is.
where is this Connecticut? Do I
No,
need to go?
I don't know where it is, but I have to
Where
find
is
it.
this? That's
I
crazy.
I don't know. I don't know. I kept seeing it, and they're like shot beer $9. This place does shot beer, scratch off card. I went, we gotta go.
So, all right. So sidecar.
Yeah,
That sounds sick, by the way.
cool name.
But no, I was talking about the scratch off idea.
Oh,
I have so many things rushing through my head right now.
you're
All right.
not gonna
So,
get this.
uh, um, All right, I'm just gonna guess three liquors. Is it vodka,
Nope.
tequila?
Nope.
Is it brandy?
No. Well, actually, in the brandy family, technically.
So it's bourbon?
No, it's cognac. I don't really know.
Oh my God, yeah, it is in the fucking brandy family, dude.
Yeah, and
Fuck, man.
the only reason I know that is because my picture. You guys all gotta sneak inside my house, but this is my classic cocktail thing, and it has vodka, tequila, gin, rum, whiskey, brandy, and it shows them all, kind of what
Oh,
family it's in. But the sidecar is cognac, Cointreau. I'm butchering that. It looks French. Cointreau and lemon juice.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you're saying it very close. It's Contra. Yeah, I think Contra is right.
We're gonna go with
Yeah.
it. But yeah, so just wanted to quiz you a little bit on some of your drinks.
That's crazy. We have to go there. Yo, that reminds me of my when I was in college, you remember my timetable that I had that you guys stole from Lee Street?
Yeah, it's
The
still there, I'm pretty sure.
mixology no
Hmm.
way.
I think
That's
so.
crazy. I used to have the mixology timetable of like all different drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a stretch when I first had gotten it because I got it from a poster fair at school
Hmm.
where I would go to the liquor store and I would buy the ingredients for each
Yeah,
different
that's
drink.
right.
And then, dude, I think there's like 60 something drinks on there. I think I made like 25 different drinks,
Yeah,
which is like a decent number for like how many were on there.
yeah, you made a
So,
pretty good dent because yeah, you literally you would kind of check them off as you were going
yeah,
along. So we'll have
yeah.
to try and retrieve that or see what people are up to with that times table. Or
Yeah, when I get a new place, I'm gonna have to get a new one and I'll have to try it. I'll be like, boop,
yeah,
boop.
exactly. Or we're gonna have to. I mean, even a shorter one. We could just try this one because we could just try all the vodka drinks, all the tequila drinks, all the gin drinks. Because some of them sound pretty good. I
Yeah, that's
remember
what I'm saying.
I was looking through some of these and I was like, I would love to just sit down and try one of these. I can't think of one. A tequini. Oh, it's just a martini with tequila, but
Oh,
fine by me.
say less.
There, they have Bloody Marys, Moscow Mules. You can do a Mexican Mule if you want, an Appletini. I mean, we can get this done.
Yeah, somebody was just telling me the other day about a Mexican mule, and I was like, "Oh, I definitely know what a Mexican mule is." My friend
Yeah.
Tyler has 100% made me fully aware of what a Mexican mule is.
Yeah, whoever opened my eyes to, instead of a Moscow Mule, having a Mexican Mule with tequila, thank you very much, because that is
Thank
now
you.
my new drink of choice every time I go to a bar.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Hey, that was a fun game. I liked that one.
Good, I'm glad.
So,
We'll have to do something like that in the future. Maybe there's some crazy shots I've heard of too. Maybe we'll have to have you guess what's in that shot.
oh, there's a couple that just came to my mind that are very, very Deadpool-esque.
We'll have to
If
say it off
if
air.
if you know what I mean. You're
Yeah,
picking up what I'm putting down.
I do. But you know, guys, that is unfortunately all the time we have for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed listening to all our lovely sports talk, all our lovely popcorn bucket talk, and our drink talk. So thanks again as always, for tuning in. Please keep subscribing. Please keep listening to all the episodes. We really do appreciate it. And until next time,
Until next time, have a great, wonderful day, everybody. And let's go Rangers and fuck the Mets.
what he said.